All you've got to do, man, is just suck that man's dick or have sex with this person here or do something dark and you'll really fly in this industry really quickly. I'm a male model. I've been signed in London and across Europe. And I've been to the top of the industry and I've been to the bottom as well. I've done catwalks. I've been flown to Milan for catwalks. That's been the best. I've done editorials, commercials, definitely done billboards worldwide actually, from everywhere from Africa, Australia, America, Madison Square Gardens. I've seen myself massive. I've seen myself on Fifth Avenue. Yeah, man, some impressive stuff. The last 10 years of my career, I've got multiple stories of where I've been exploited or had sexual abuse or been lied to or disrespected. And it's led to me sometimes having the worst mental health you could imagine. Yeah, it's been a very difficult road actually. I've come to realize if you want to make it to the top, you have to sell a part of your soul somewhere. You're going to have to acquiesce somewhere. You may have to get involved in something sexual. It's not what everyone thinks in this industry, trust me. There's a lot of abuse. My first red flag in this industry was my first ever casting. I got told to go to a university in central London and I turned up. This man said to me, "You're a model now, you need to just be comfortable being naked. You're gonna go to Paris and Milan and New York, you need to be able to dress really quickly." So I got naked. Well, I was in my boxers and he said, "No, you have to get fully naked. You can hold yourself, but get naked." And so I did. Found out when I went back to my agency that day that no one even knew who that man was. A lot of people think that this industry is super glamorous. I can tell you, for someone who's gone to Fashion Week in Milan for many years, we are treated like absolute dogs. We sleep in hostels and in squalor. The agency only respect you if you get that massive job. If you're on set and you mention that you feel uncomfortable, to be honest, that's you finished. You're not gonna get the job. I've seen it happen so many times where people just acquiesce and they keep their head down and they just don't stand with their morals. There's a lot that happens as well with like grooming and stuff like that. People like kind of groom you, touch you in certain ways. It's hard for me to even say, man, because I hate this stuff. But like, there's been times when I've been in a long casting and the director will come up and like stroke your hair, run their fingers across your elbow, and you know what they're trying to suggest. Do you want this job? Like, let's talk. There's a lot of drug abuse. I know the women in Milan, they go crazy on taking the drugs because it literally will keep you slim. If you're like taking a lot of cocaine, you're just going to be slimmer. You don't really have the appetite to eat a lot, and you'll hit them targets. The best after party or the most insane after party I ever went to, there was like a cougar walking around in this mansion, and they had parrots because this isn't wealth that you can't understand. Everything's gold. And just open up a drawer, and it's just like all the marijuana on the top, and then all the cocaine and the ketamine, and all the pills and the ecstasy and the MDMA. In 2019, actually, I was in a big designer's house. It was the most money I've ever seen. It's the most cocaine I've ever seen in my life. The designer handed me like maybe like an ounce of weed, just like, just take this, take this. And yeah, long story short, that night, he kept on just like pressing his body up against me, telling me he wanted me to reveal myself. That's what he kept saying. Reveal yourself, reveal yourself. I actually remember taking a knife from their kitchen and I had a torch and I slept like this, like an X on the bed. And I had to put cupboards and fucking sofas and shit in front of the door because he kept on knocking on the door saying, "In the morning I'm gonna wake you up. I'm gonna convince you to reveal yourself." I don't have any money, so it's not like I can just order my own taxi out of this place. I have to wait for them to tell me that I can go. He's never spoke to me since. We were friends, but since that night, because I simply said no, never spoke to me since. And then your career's over, by the way, as well. One word from one of these people, you'll be blacklisted. If you've got a big designer saying don't work with this person, you're finished. And it's just a small example of how all you've got to do, man, is just suck that man's dick or have sex with this person here or do something dark and you'll really fly in this industry really quickly. And after I started speaking out about some of this stuff, so many people started coming to me telling me their experiences. Surprisingly, a lot of men as well. And most people, when they think about the modeling industry, they think it's older men abusing women. The most sexual abuse I've had is from someone younger than me, and it was a man. It definitely just isn't kind of like the old school idea of like these old men creeping up on these young models. I'd know that say there's just as much abuse on men as there is on women. There's a lot of manipulation and a lot of sad stories in this industry. The reason most people are getting away with this sexual abuse and this exploitation is power and money. Simple. They've got so much money, some of these people. You know, some of these people are selling t-shirts for thousands of pounds. So they've got so much money and influence, and everyone drops to their knees like they're some kind of like deity. I believe if I had spoken the way I'm speaking now at the beginning of my career, or I'd like, started to speak up against my agency or the clients or the castings, I would have just been finished. I think a lot of people think that, movements like Me Too have helped the industry and it definitely has allowed people to like view what's going on. But if something like Me Too was genuine, there would be top level designers, photographers in prison right now for what they've done. Power has to come back to the model. We have to have the voice to speak out. And if we don't speak out, more people are going to get abused and more people are going to have their voice silenced by these false leaders in the industry.